Okay, so usually when you're shown one sign, it's like, I don't know if I should do it or not. But when you're shown two, I think we should think twice about it. And if you're a 29-year-old living in Cleveland, this video is for you. And if you're not in Cleveland, you might find some benefit to this because the people that I've been talking to recently, I don't know if they know about these three things. And it will really change your life as it has mine so much. And if it doesn't change your life, it'll at least tell you what to avoid so you can keep living your life even more. So lately, there's been people asking me here in Cleveland, where I am at the current moment, I was just like, you travel so much. People found out I have a YouTube channel, if I have TikTok, and they started to watch all these videos. And they're just like, how do I do it? What do I need to do? And I'm just like, how old are you? And most of these people are 27, 24, 32. Number one is get out. Like maybe you're from Norway watching this, maybe you're from Poland watching this, maybe you're from Malta, Australia, wherever you're from, let me know in the comments. But wherever you're from, you get out. Get out. I'm not saying never come back, but you have to get out because the perspective needs to change. You guys got to understand that your perspective, it has to change. And when you're in the same place with the same people, doing the same thing, hearing the same stuff, wearing the same clothes, you get this sameness where you just can kind of just go about your day without even thinking about it. And for me, I think that's a very dangerous place to be because if you can just go through your day without thinking about it, where's the challenge come from? I got bills to pay. I get it. But where's your challenge coming from in your day to day, apart from other people's challenge? See, here's the thing. When you start to move to another place and get to another place, you have challenges just going to the store, just meeting new people. So now all of a sudden, you're going to start firing off new neurons in your mind, unlike you have in a very long time. You're going to have to pull things out of your mind that are you might not have used since you were 22 years old or since you were 15 years old. For some of you, since you were 12 years old. How do I go up and meet new people outside the work? How do I do like what's the best way I want to? Now you're about to learn about yourself. But when you're in the same environment, it makes it extremely challenging because it gets to this point almost where it's like this is all you know. And I think it's a very dangerous place to be because when you get to a place where it's all you know, I believe it was Mark Twain who said it's not dangerous to people who don't know. It's dangerous to people who think they know and they don't change. They think they know and they're not going to change at all because now you stay in this world of just like I'm good, I got this. There's a whole world out there waiting for you. And just as I'm trying to recreate the conversation I had with one person in particular, get out. Doesn't matter where you go. And he's like, should I go to Barcelona? Should I go to Berlin? I was like, you know what? Just go. Just go. And I was trying to tell him, well, actually, I actually told him, go to Barcelona first because you meet a lot of people. Then I was like, it's also cool, Malta, get you away. Rome is pretty nice because Australia, places where it's touristy, so you can kind of not be shocked and not seeing anyone who looks like you or speaking English. But then as I started thinking about it, I'm like, it actually doesn't really matter. You just got to get out. Because what happens when you get out is almost like all that stuff, the amazing things that can happen are just consequences of getting out. So that would be the first thing I'd say. Number two of the three things that I wrote down to say is create more. One of the things when I asked when I was talking to him, I'm like, well, what are you creating right now? And it's kind of the same answer with everyone I meet, kind of. It's just like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm about to be creating something soon. I've been thinking about starting YouTube. Create more. So one of the things, and I was having a conversation with someone just about this today, and they were like, Luke, that's some great advice that you said I can do. They're like, where do I put that on YouTube? Do I do that? No, no, no. That's thinking way too far down the line. Record it first. So if you're watching this video, number two is create more. Create it first. Record it first. Write it first. Then we'll figure out what to do with it. Because starting a YouTube channel, setting it up, just becomes an excuse that people end up using to not ever get started. Is what I've noticed. Just I, I I don't know how to do it, so it's okay. I'll wait till I figure out the technology part. No, write it first. Read it first. Record it first. First book, just press record, is still the thing that I'm preaching like 10 years later almost. Record it first, which means create, which means just the act of you record is going to fire off things in your brain of thinking like, well, what do I want to talk about? Like, why do you want to talk? What's like so passionate about? And here's a question that can maybe unlock this for some of you. I want you to think in your mind, if I were to say, hey, you're going to go on stage and share with the world something for 5 minutes, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to talk about? Is it work, or is it how there's got to be more to life than this? Is it create? What is it? And it might be multiple things. None of them are wrong. None of them are right. Which one which one would you talk about first? Whatever came to your mind, that's what you need to write about. Okay? Or you need to talk about, or you need to record about. Another way you can really hack it is look around the world. What do you see wrong with things? And start talking about it. Because here's the thing, when you just stay in this realm of like, I don't know what to create, I don't know how to do it, and it can happen to everyone. Like on my YouTube channel, I have more than 1,200 videos. And I got to this point where I wasn't sure what kind of content to create at probably 800 videos. I didn't know what to do, took a break. Then I hit 1,200 videos. I'm like, not sure what kind of content to create. So I took a break. And just now, this video you're watching, this might be the first, or maybe there's something else I put on there. It's been 3 months that I took off just during this phase of just like getting out in front of the camera, having a little break just for me to let the creativity juices just rekindle. I miss being here on YouTube. I miss showing up and talking with you guys. And I'm so excited to be here. And that comes from sometimes getting out, and sometimes the peace you find from getting out solves everything in itself. You know, you'll be surprised when you just, okay, I know you want to go to the gym, I know you want to run, I want you to do the Stairmaster, treadmill, bike, box, tennis, basketball, but you'll be surprised what happens to your body when you just stop eating the stuff that's hurting you. You'll be surprised. And create more. That we're born to create. Literally, it's like the first verse of the first chapter in the Bible. In the beginning, God created heavens and earth. We're built in the same form as him, and he was a creator, and we're built in the same image as him. We are here to create. We're here to create. And now we live in a world where we can create things, and you guys know how amazing it is to be everywhere at the same time. Like, people think it's not possible, but it is, because you're not here with me right now. I'm in this little rented area that I'm in right now, but you're not here. Looking around, I see people, but y'all aren't here. But yeah, you can watch this. I'm recording this on June 24th, 2024. Who knows when you're watching this? Actually, leave a comment down below of the date when you're watching it. That means that you guys got this same message, not when I put it out, not when it got published, but some of y'all are getting this a month later, 6 months later, a year later. So this is the power of creating something, because now you've created it one time and now it has the ability to reach millions of people. And when you're able to start to share that, and you start to be like, you know what, I love creating things, I love sharing things. Now let's do something more, and let's advance the technology that we're using, put it into a funnel, put it into different things. Now all of a sudden that can go out and be distributed to the world on something that you created a long time ago, but it's still relevant to the people today. Meaning, I used to help people start YouTube channels, and I don't want to help people do that so much anymore. I'm more of, you got to do something deeper than that. If you have a fear of doing that, then talking to me right now isn't going to necessarily help you so much, but things I've created in the past will. Another beautiful thing about creating content. And the third thing that I say is to not, most of the things like, can I go here? Can I go here? Can I afford to do this? Can I find a way to make money while I'm traveling? I think those are all like not horrible questions, but I don't think those are questions are in the top 5. And I don't think those are necessarily relevant questions, because is there really a price? Like, you look at the price of leaving, but you're not factoring in the cost of you staying. That is somebody. I know you want me to say it again. You're factoring the price to leave. Like, I don't know if I can afford this, but you're not factoring the cost of staying. What do I mean, the cost of staying? Well, there's a lot of factors. The cost of you staying. High prices for everything, if you want to look at it like that. But you can look at it from an emotional standpoint. You know you're not supposed to be here. Have you seen someone who's in a place that they know they're not supposed to be and they don't want to be there? You ever seen any of those people that you work with like that? Where you see them hanging around, you see them at the cash register in places? Not really great energy. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Have any of y'all ever trained really hard to get better at a job that you hate? In the words of Rachel on Friends, how does that make you feel? Factor in that cost. So not can I afford it? Can I do this? What will I do when I get there? How about we change it to a question of like, how far can you go? You know, how far can you go? That you understand so much of what I've done that you guys have witnessed. So if you've watched my travel videos and you see, like I was doing that for 8 years before I even recorded any of it. And I was traveling a lot more. And I wasn't filming all day and editing for 4 or 5 hours a day. So I was doing a lot more. And even when I filmed, what you guys saw was maybe 15, 10% of the day curated into a story. So when I think about that, I'm just like, how far can you go? Like many of you guys understand, when I was just a normal basketball player, just playing in the streets. And someone came to me and said, hey, you're good enough to play in college. And I told him, I'm like, I don't want to go to college. And he said, no, but you can use basketball as a tool to get you through it. And then that same guy, don't know where he is to this day, he said, you want to be careful where you go because you don't want to get lost in the sauce. And as I got to college, I got there, it's like, let's see how far I can go. Went from not playing it to from redshirting, so I just practiced with the team because I had an injury going right before college, broke my tibia in half. All the big schools dropped me. And I went from there to still sign a full scholarship to college, went on to there to then play and not really play the first 2 years. Then my third year, just do the best I could. All of a sudden, I made third team All-American. I was like, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. And then all of a sudden, boom, went on to be first team All-American player of the year. The last year I was there, to then get signed to a semi-pro team. How far can I go? Went from semi-pro in Kentucky to professional in Australia. How far can I go? Did 2 years in Australia in Melbourne, Dandenong Rangers. Shout out, Melbourne. Signed with the team in Frankfurt, Germany for a year. Played with them. Took a huge pay cut to go there. I probably went there for 20% of the money that I was making before, so it was a big change, but it was part of a bigger step. How far can I go? Went from Frankfurt to play for a team in Perpignan, France. As you guys know, I lived on the border of France and Spain. Went to Barcelona every weekend for 5 years. How far can I go? Signed with a team in Angers, close to Bordeaux. Beautiful wine, great people, huge fan base. Then after that, signed a 2-year deal in Berck, north of France. How far can I go? After my first year, I opted out of my second year. Huge pay loss because huge pay cut, left everything, packed up my whole apartment, put it in storage, had a little bag to travel the world because that's what the next calling was for me. How far can I go? From there, traveled all through Europe for almost a year, half a year, before coming back home real quick to be with my family for a week, then taking off to Asia right before 2020. Right before 2020. I think I flew over there January 15th, 2020, to Thailand. Spent a month there. How far can I go? February, we're on the border of China, close to Vietnam. We're in Vietnam, close to China. This is the end of February 2020. Airports are starting to close. Countries are starting to close. I told my friend told me, like, Luke, we should probably go to Bali for 5 days and chill out. How far can I go? Went to Bali, stayed there for 5 days. Planned. Ended up staying for the whole visa period of 30 days. Now, around this time, it's around the 13th of March of 2020. Fly to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. And we're going to stay there for 2 weeks and then keep traveling to the Philippines. Now countries really are closing. Big countries are closing. We see certain countries aren't even letting people in anymore. So my friend said he's going to stay in Kuala Lumpur for a few days. I say, I'm going to go straight back to Bali because I feel more comfortable there. Went back there. How far can I go? And as I went back to Bali, world shuts down. Everything closes down. I had planned to go back to basketball the following year. to sign a paycheck, start getting money again. Everything shuts down. Got to figure out this online thing pretty quick. 44 hours away from home, where my family is. Had to start all this stuff. How far can I go? Stayed there for a year and 10 months straight. I was there in March of 2020. I left Bali in August of 2021. How far can I go? From there, I flew home really quick. Hadn't seen my family in 2 years. As soon as I get back to Cleveland, where my family is, see them, spend time with them, but time to go. Go to Mexico. 3 years later, I'm still there. Just back visiting family now. How far can I go? And with that being said, how far can you go? I'm just a kid from Cleveland. I'm a kid from Cleveland where a bicycle meant freedom for me. How far can I go? How far can you go? And one of the things that I was talking to my friend, and we'll end on this, we were talking, and I told them all, all those travelings I did. I'm like, y'all are the lucky ones. They're like, what do you mean? They're like, well, Luke, you had this. No. Y'all are the lucky ones. Y'all getting good money. Y'all are here. Y'all pay for more for your apartment than it would cost to travel for a month. You're getting the money. I'm like, y'all are the lucky ones. He's like, but you. I say, all I had was a little bit of courage. It's not about the money. It's about the courage. Because the people that you meet when you get out, when you start to create, they start to share your story. You start to ask yourself how far I can go. The people that you're going to meet, the ones who are like me, the ones who actually, the people who can really bless you and help you out, they are so attracted to that. Seeing that courage that you have is so inspiring. And it makes them curious of how you did it. And you never know the effect that you're going to have on other people. Some of you have doubted how powerful you actually are. You've doubted how powerful you are. And you doubt how powerful you are. At 26 years old to the 29-year-old in Cleveland who feels trapped, how far can you go? But here's the thing. If you don't leave, you're not going anywhere. Now, I mean that in a physical sense. Yes, you can accomplish all these things by being in the same place, but get out. That would be my advice. Because the consequence of getting out is some amazing, the worst thing that will happen is you'll get to realize who you really are. Some of the things that people talk about is they're terrified of being in a place where people don't speak English. Well, when you are in a place where people don't speak English, I wonder what you're thinking then. When you are in a place when you don't speak English or they don't speak English, now you got to use your brain, got to use your creativity. You got to fire off new neurons. How far can you go? How far can you go? Because you know what, some of y'all, you got to think, we got to get you to think a little bit bigger. We got to think generationally. What will that do to your family lineage? What will it do for the people who are looking up to you? Because you're going to get to a point, Drake said it best in one of his songs. He's like, I can't remember exactly how it goes. He's like, you keep going until your idols become your rivals. You look up to Mike, but got an AI him for your survival. So let's break that down. He said, your idols become your rivals. Means someone you look up to, all of a sudden, now you're on the same playing field as them. So for Allen Iverson, he looked up to Michael Jordan. But there's a famous crossover that AI did, and he did a fake on Michael Jordan and made the shot. You look up to Mike, but you got to AI him for your survival to get to the next level, to stay there, to stay where you are. And the impact that you can have can be beyond anything you can imagine. which is why I didn't just say get out and explore. I said get out and create. Sharing that journey. Like I literally have a book, Just Press Record. Name of the book. It's on Amazon. It's like 99 cents. First book I ever wrote. I'm talking about the power of it. The power, can you imagine if your mom or your dad, I was thinking about today, my grandma was a phenomenal entrepreneur, businesses, land, homes, real estate, you name it. And I was like, she passed away before I was old enough to even digest half of what she told me as a child. And the thing that I wish that I knew she did was I wish she would have recorded something, gave me a little bit of what did she do to do that? How'd you manipulate that? How'd you manage that? Because just one little video, 5-minute video of a summary of what she's done or learned can be the game changer and save you years. Like, I know every single one of you watching my videos, especially now the videos are about to come out. And by the way, it's great to be back. You all watching my videos should go a lot further and faster than me. Because when I was growing up, I didn't have a me. I didn't know anyone who lived over in Europe. I didn't know anyone who traveled and did all this stuff. Even as I was making YouTube videos, I only knew 2 or 3 people who were doing it. Like literally, I want to say when I was doing the Europe thing, the only people who I saw were really doing that was Life with Louie, Mr. Ben Brown. That's really the only 2 I can think of that I could actually see. Or the rest of this travel, I think that was it. It's in 2013, 2014. When I traveled around in Europe back then, I didn't see anyone who looked like me. I didn't see anybody who looked like me. So that made me think like, well, what if I can just share a little bit about what I do? Because at the end of the day, y'all, it's about making the rules for your own life. And sometimes when you have a limited perspective on things, it limits what you can see. What we're trying to do is get you from the 3rd floor to like the 15th floor. You know why? Because when you look out that window, the views are different. I'm telling you, the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next. And I think the more you can understand that and see that, the more you're able to realize the power of getting out, exploring, seeing, and sharing. I believe so much in sharing, because when you share it, it allows you to share a perspective that most people would never, ever get to see if it wasn't for you. The people that you know and the people that you'll meet online are 2 different people, but you'll be not only inspiration for them, but you'll be inspiration for yourself. You're creating something that can live longer than you, that your kids can watch, that your kids' kid can watch. So with that being said, it's amazing being back here on YouTube. This is actually, I think, my first video I'm posting in 3 months. Got a lot. We got a lot happening, guys. We got a lot coming up. Ooh, we got a lot. A lot of things we're going to talk about. And yeah, one of the things, and I'll end on this. And by the way, if I can, any of y'all looking for some clarity, by the way, if you've watched up until this point, you are definitely, what should I say? You're filtered from the rest. And if I can help you out, I'm going to open clarity calls. I don't know how many I'm gonna start doing again, but they're linked in the description if they're available. If there's any available, then you can choose a spot. You just want to get some clarity on what you're doing and just get a plan in motion. Like get a plan in motion of a direction to go. So you're not just spinning the wheels, not knowing where you're going. I'll leave that option in the description below. And just on a separate note, it's been like almost 3.5 months. I haven't posted a video, and a lot's been going on, but I don't want to come back and say, well, here's what's going on. All that matters is right now where we're going. And we're moving forward. And even if the direction isn't clear, the objective isn't clear, if how we're going to do it, the schematics of everything isn't clear, the why is there. We're going to leave a mark. We're going to create impact. So if you could share this video, if you know someone who's 29 that is feeling stuck, 26 years old, feeling stuck. First of all, you're super young. You can mess up for the next 4 or 5 years of your life and still be young enough to start like like it's nothing. And you have the energy and you have the power to do it. And I'm here to help you all through that. So with that being said, I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And yeah, sometimes we'll be here talking like this, and other times we're gonna be out and about, as they say in I think they say that in Canada, or I know definitely in Australia. We're gonna go out and about. We're gonna be out and about, walking around, filming, but more importantly, giving you guys something to run with. Creating content that's just entertaining just doesn't do that for me. It doesn't. The views might be nice and all that, but at the end of the day, I think it's about. And my college coach told me this. He said it was something along the lines of. Uh, at the end of the day, it's all about going to sleep. When you lay your head down on your pillow at night, you're happy. That's what it's about. And that's what it's about for me. And with that, I appreciate you all. And I'll be speaking to y'all really soon. Maybe do some lives on here as well. I'm looking forward to it. And it's great to be back. I'll see you all in the next video.